The Truth Girls.
Hi everyone. It's been a while since I talked politics and world events on YouTube, but this is some interesting stuff here. Conspiracy theorists are causing militants to abandon ISIS. A report in the official propaganda magazine of ISIS this month bemoans the fact that the terror group is losing members because of so-called conspiracy theories that Western intelligence manipulates and controls extremists for its own agenda. No! That couldn't be happening. There was no such thing as a conspiracy. The Americans would never create a group and then, wage war against it and arm rebels in both sides of conflicts. They would never do stuff like that, right? Secret Pentagon report reveals U.S. created ISIS as a tool to overthrow Syria's President Assad. No. They created a terror group? Well, apparently there are now some documents to prove this. A declassified secret U.S. government document obtained by the public interest law firm Judicial Watch shows the Western government deliberately allied with Al-Qaeda and other Islamist extremist groups to topple the Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad. So they got a leaked document. How many times has this kind of stuff come out? Remember the Arab Spring and the color revolutions? Egypt protests. Secret U.S. document discloses support for protesters. Here is the secret document sent from the U.S. Embassy in Cairo to Washington disclosing the extent of American support for the protesters behind the Egypt uprising. Well, it had turned out that the U.S. was not only giving funds and encouraging all this, but had even imported some people to the U.S., like brought them to the U.S. for training in how to run a revolution using social media and stuff like that. There's a whole summary about color revolutions here on rents.com. They're really engineered to serve the purposes of a third party and to make them look like they're happening from the bottom up when really it's top down. It's strategically engineered and made to look organic. And another thing is the whole arming the two sides of the conflict thing, which there's a very long history of. Remembering the dead, Reagan armed Iraq and Iran in the 1980s, war that killed over 1 million. This has been going on for decades. It's still happening now. Who is supplying weapons to the warring sides in Syria? There's a long list here of countries that were supplying arms, and one of them is the U.S. June 14, 2013, Washington said it would give the rebels direct military aid after concluding Syrian troops had used chemical weapons. The CIA is reported to have played an important role behind the scenes since 2012, coordinating arms shipments to the rebels by U.S. allies. Arming rebels is not just for Syrian revolutions. U.S. paves way to arm Libyan rebels. They did it in Libya too. Hillary Clinton had paved the way for the United States to arm Libyan rebels by declaring that the recent UN Security Council resolution relaxed an arms embargo on the country. So like, hey, you relaxed the arms embargo, so that means that we can arm the rebels now. They did it in Syria, they did it in Libya, they did it from Libya to Syria. The U.S. is openly sending heavy weapons from Libya to Syrian rebels. Oh, but then something went awry. U.S. approved arms for Libya rebels fell into jihadis' hands. No. How could that even happen? Well, on to the next mission. U.S. arms the Kurds in Iraq to fight U.S. armed ISIS. ISIS has obtained some heavy weaponry and the Kurds need additional arms, and we're providing those. There's nothing new here. There certainly isn't. Well, where did ISIS get these weapons from? Apparently these were weapons that the U.S. had given to the Iraq military, which then fell into the hands of ISIS militants as they gained control over a wide swath of the country. Seems like the U.S. is always getting involved with supporting the wrong people. Remember that whole Osama bin Laden thing? Remember how the CIA created Al-Qaeda and gave $3 billion to Osama bin Laden? Yeah, you can read all the details there in case you need a little refresher. So there you have it. There's your conspiracy theory. Isn't it interesting that now the ISIS's own magazine is complaining that their members are believing it? Wouldn't it be weird? I mean, look, it's great. People waking up everywhere and saying, war is wrong, and our motives for going to war are wrong. We've been duped. What are we doing? We're all starting to realize that. It's all been just like one big lie. And it's not for our benefit, not for anyone's benefit, except those at the very top. And so, wouldn't it be great if everyone just sort of woke up and no one would participate? Because they said, well, what are you doing? So let's just stop. You can't have much of a war if no one's willing to believe the propaganda. So, leave me your comments. Let me know what you think. And thank you for liking this video. And thanks for listening to me. And I'll see you next time.